YouTube shopping in Indonesia.
Yes, special day for us, and it's a privilege that you are here with us today.
Thank you. Finally!
For the first time in Southeast Asia, Indonesia is where we are going, our fourth largest market in the world. And creators like you, and hundreds and thousands of creators in this country like you, are the engine of change.
We all know that basically in Indonesia, YouTube is not the first platform who actually have this shopping feature. There's already TikTok, for example. So how do you see this as a competition, and how does YouTube different?
YouTube absolutely loves Indonesia because Indonesia loves YouTube.
Hai friends, senang banget hari ini saya sedang berada di kantor YouTube Indonesia. Dan hari ini juga spesial banget karena sudah bersama saya, Regional Director dari YouTube Asia Pacific, AJAY Vidyasagar. Hi, Ajay.
Good morning and great to have you here today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Same here.
It's a privilege for me to have this exclusive interview with you. And congratulations for the YouTube shopping in Indonesia.
Yes, special day for us, and it's a privilege that you are here with us today.
Thank you. Finally.
Totally, yeah. I was saying a little while back, we've had a few years where our creators have been banging the desk and telling us that they would like this day to happen.
Yes.
I come to this town once in 3 or 4 weeks from Singapore, where I'm based, and there's not one trip in the last few years where I've not spoken to at least 3, 4 or 5 creators who've come and told us that they want YouTube to light up the shopping product.
Yeah.
And so it's a big day. It's an absolute privilege and a very, very exciting moment for us. And it's great to share all of this with you.
Thank you. And it's a great day for Indonesia as well, because Indonesia is the first country that is chosen in Southeast Asia to actually have this feature.
Yeah. No, I'd love to help illustrate that to you a little more in detail. So if you think of it, when we launched YouTube in Southeast Asia, which was a little over 12 years back, I was part of that wonderful day and that event here in this city. And we actually had quite a few YouTube creators in Indonesia. We really had nobody of any significant volume. And in that launch event, I remember a few days before we launched, we were thinking of, like all launches, we need to talk about local sort of heroes or local creators who have already been active in the platform. And we really had close to none to showcase in that event at our launch. And we ended up launching with an act from Gangnam Style, which was a Korean piece of music, which was hot and happening at that time. And from that day to today, it's been around a dozen years.
Yeah.
And in these dozen years, we have seen a transformation to the creator economy in this market. The transformation is, just extraordinary. We have about 2,000 creators who have over 1 million subscribers today. We have like great creators like you. We have over 25,000 creators who have over 100,000 subscribers. These are not mean numbers. These are not small numbers. These are very material numbers. And then if you think of all of that momentum, on top of that, every year we are seeing our content getting uploaded onto YouTube from this country almost double at 85% year over year. The content ingestion onto the platform is growing. So on such a large base, having such a fertile amount of engagement from the creator economy is something that we feel privileged about, something that we feel very excited about. And that's why on top of all of that, what's actually happening today is very important and very exciting.
That's right. And I mean, it's a privilege for us Indonesian. We are so excited. Finally, YouTube actually have this YouTube shopping. So when it comes to the content creators as an entrepreneur, so what does this YouTube shopping means to them, and how we can make a full use of it?
Yeah. So see, it's if you actually understand the way a creator really shines on the platform, you will then be able to appreciate how this is such a significant moment. So I'll actually go one step back, answering your question, and then get to the answer that you are seeking from me. So when we started YouTube, as I said, the local creator economy was fundamentally non-existent. Today, YouTube in Indonesia is one of the top 5 markets in the world for us from a user and engagement point of view. That was non-existent if you think of it 12 years back. Most of content in this country really was not really having a home on the digital ecosystem, and democratizing content creation is really what YouTube's been very privileged to be able to do with the creator ecosystem in this country. Creators like you, creators all over the country today come to YouTube to actually drive the movement of the flywheel, where a creator shares a story that drives interest with users, and that interest, once it gets to a certain volume, is benefiting from advertisers looking for those users. So the creator driving viewer engagement, driving advertiser engagement, driving further creator engagement is really the whole flywheel. And when it comes to rewarding all of this engagement that a creator is creating, is what our ads product line enables. The AdSense feature that Google and YouTube offer creators is basically to help translate all the viewer interest that your storytelling is bringing on YouTube, and that viewership being enabled as monetization is really what the ads business does. That's how this whole magical wheel turns and turns and really helps the whole ecosystem get a win-win happen. Now, once we got that movement going, we have over the last over the decade plus actually have further helped creators benefit from the engagement that they have got with their users. How have we done that? On top of the ads business, we've also enabled an additional 7 streams of revenues. Those actually include the subscriber layer. They include our entire membership layer, which has super thanks and other several membership features, including stickers and all of that. And so if you think of these 8 layers of revenues, those are already a very material part of what really drives the creator economy. The creator economy today in Indonesia is one of the biggest economic propellers of growth for this country. We've had several sessions over the last couple of years helping all of the market and our creators understand how material and significant the work that they do is to the economics of this entire nation. Today is very important because on top of that, what will be enabled is the fact that a creator now, on top of these already prevalent revenue streams, is going to also start being able to use the shopping product stack and drive purchase behavior with all the interest that your content is creating. And that purchase happening through our shopping partner, which is SHOPEE, will lead to a purchase in a certain amount of value. It could be 100 Indonesian rupiah purchase, or 1,000 Indonesian rupiah purchase, or 100,000 Indonesia rupee purchase. In the first few weeks that we've tested this out, we're already seeing extraordinary energy that users are bringing into the platform when they're trying out this feature. That entire engine is going to get lit up for every creator who is YPP enabled. And creators have to just sign up in a very simple manner through YouTube Studio. And that will allow them to use the content they have to be shopping enabled. And we believe that this is a new monetization activation opportunity that can be transformative in the way creators monetize through YouTube.
I totally agree. And thank you for connecting the dots between the users, the creators, and the brand. Because, I mean, like before, even as a YouTube shopping, many years ago, before we purchase anything, we always go to YouTube to see recommendations and see the content. So now, with you actually connecting the dot, it makes everything more seamless. And it helps everyone.
I'll just add something. Yesterday was my son's 18th birthday. I came to this city leaving him alone at home. But for his birthday, over the last week, we were talking, both me and my wife were talking to him about, what did he want as his gifts? And one of the things, among the many things that an 18-year-old would ask, one of the things he wanted was a Bluetooth speaker, because the earlier one he had fell into the swimming pool in our condo. And so, within a few minutes as we were talking to him, I was amazed to see that he figured out that his poor dad was willing to buy him an expensive Bluetooth speaker. And he was actually on YouTube deciding between 2 or 3 different brands, looking at creator reviews to decide which particular brand he wanted. And that is exactly what this is really going to be. We are now going to be able to, in that situation, that example is of what I'm talking of with my son, he would actually be seeing which brand he would want. And he would actually be able to now make that purchase straight there. To be able to get the user to be able to make that decision and allow the product stack to enable that purchase is the magic that we are going to light up with this launch.
Exactly. Even including the fashion that I'm wearing. So with the YouTube shopping, whoever likes it, they can actually just click and then buy and then
Absolutely.
have it.
Absolutely. Okay. And that's a great outfit you're wearing.
Yes, thank you. But I love the way that you mentioned monetization is a privilege for content creators, right? It's something that we should not take it for granted. It's some things that there is some things because, as a content creators, of course, we must focus. Our main thing is to create ideas, and creating qualities of content and a consistent quality of content. And I love talking with you because I know you are a person that is very, very strong in ideas, technologies, and I love your quotes. You always mention that ideas is the currency of the future, right? And if you can create and nurture ideas, basically you can shape the world around you.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think, thank you for being so kind and mentioning that. I've for decades together believed that, storytelling is really at the heart of sharing ideas, sharing knowledge, and sharing wisdom. And if you think of the world of storytelling and the world of idea sharing, it used to happen, if you go back, when the mass media industry started, it was really the printing revolution was like game changing if you go back 80, 90 years. And that then moved to sort of the radio industry over time from print and got into the audio habit. And over the last 50, 60 years, that now combined all of that into the video industry through television and feature films coming in. And that evolution is really what the last 15 years has been into digital video. Way back, 12 years back, when we had a very big event in California, we talked about the fact that the video industry would become 90% of the online consumption time in the world. And a lot of people were quite shocked when they heard that because it was still very text and image at that time. But that is actually a reality that we are all living in the midst of. And creators like you and hundreds and thousands of creators in this country like you are the engine of change that's happening. And what actually all this is each of you have an idea, form a story, and then have the amazing ability to use platforms like YouTube to share it with your community of fans instantly. And our job as a technology distribution platform is to be able to connect your great stories with your fans and get that magic to happen without you having to worry about all the technological wires that need to be joined. And that's a privilege that we don't take lightly. And that's something that fundamentally is an extraordinarily inspiring experience. So it's very, very exciting that it keeps getting fueled in that manner.
And that's the next questions that I want to ask you, because I'm sure you have a lot of ideas being in a business as well as the content creations. But what is the process of like nurturing the ideas and then creating it into making an impact into a real thing? So what is the process? Hopefully we can learn something from you.
Yeah. So see, I think any story is about informing, educating, and inspiring your set of fans. An idea actually can really fuel an entire movement. We have so many extraordinarily gifted creators in this country when it comes to information, entertainment, and purchase behavior in that sense. And today, if you think of it, when we all were growing up, storytelling and idea sharing really happened in a very closed manner. Your grandmother would have passed something on to your mother, and your mother would have passed something to you. But that entire wisdom of knowledge and what we would broadly call ideas is today something that's not limited to a closed user group inside the confines of any individual's homes. That is a piece of knowledge and an entire idea generation engine that a platform like YouTube is able to now get broadcast into an entire range of users in your home country and in places far outside of your country. One of the biggest places in the world where we saw that really happen was really Korea when it started. 99% of Korean speakers are in the country of Korea, and only 1% of Korean speakers are outside of Korea.
Okay.
But if you take some of the biggest Korean drama and Korean pop hits, almost 90% of their viewership comes from outside of Korea, with what is just 1% of the users who speak the language. Which is when, a platform like YouTube realized that the power of taking ideas and inspiration to the whole world is something that's really probable, is something that's very real. That's pretty much what has happened in most of Southeast Asia and Indonesia. The amount of knowledge that the culture and customs and the people of this country have is enormous, and it's extraordinarily energizing to see that. But the ability to get to travel to countries within the region and outside of the region to the entire world is a privilege that YouTube finds itself in the middle of. And it's something that's super exciting. And the ability for ideas to travel into every part of your own country and to every part of the world outside of your own home country is something that we feel very, very excited about. And it's something that we feel that's a gift that we embrace every day.
Yeah, thank you for the platform that now we have a way for us to share our story. So creating quality content is another thing, and getting people to view our content, that's another challenge that a lot of content creators have. Especially as a content creator, we always depend on the algorithm of the YouTube, right? So what is your advice? Like, how can we as a content creators, we know we've done our part, we create a good quality content, but how can we make sure that our content have great visibility and great...
No, I think, this is a continuing journey for us. It's something that we know that it has been very, very beneficial to both creators and users, and we see the role that we play in joining the dots between creators and users as pivotal to what we do on a daily basis. Now, I'd like to kind of arm you with some knowledge that we constantly keep observing on the platform. When any of our creators engage on the platform, when you think of the content you upload and the videos that go out there and the usage that it creates, it's amazing to know that almost, depending on what kind of content you're making, anything upwards of 60% of your usage, of your viewership, actually happens because of recommendations, suggestions, and the organic sort of signals that YouTube actually brings in to that video. So if the greatest way a creator learns about that is the analytics dashboard that we actually give a creator. And I have had hundreds and thousands of creators come and tell me that one of the greatest tools that benefits creators is the analytics toolkit that YouTube actually provides them to know who their user is, where their users are, and how they're engaging with all the content that they bring in. And at the heart of this is recommendations and suggestions that the YouTube platform provides to creators and users, which is what all of you call as the algorithm.
Yeah.
The algorithm is fundamentally the intelligence that the system picks up based on knowing the content and knowing the potential users you have. And those then are the recommendations that surface to the right set of audiences. And we believe that, arming our creators with more analytics and more data about who their users are and how they engage with them is at the heart of growing your own service and your own set of content and growing your community of fans.
Okay. So it's a continued and never-ending improvement on our side as a content creator to...
And our role in that is to give you the data to help you learn from that.
All right, all right. Back to the YouTube shopping. We all know that basically in Indonesia, YouTube is not the first platform who actually have this shopping feature. There's already TikTok, for example. So how do you see this as a competition, and how does YouTube different?
Yeah. So look, I think it's not for me to speak about any particular competitive platform, but what I would say is that, our relationship with the entire shopping journey goes back over a decade. We have played a very pivotal part and continue to play a very pivotal part by helping join the dots between users and products that users are looking for. All of these used to be primarily fueled through our ads business. But there were brands who came and bought ads that they wanted those ads to serve users within different parts of our ecosystem within YouTube. And they did that through a paid relationship. They did that through the ads paid relationship. That has helped us understand the value of shoppable content. Travis talked about it earlier this morning, about how the amount of shoppable content is so large on YouTube, and it's growing at a pace that's even more dramatic. Now, what we are now doing is that on top of the paid engagement that already exists, we are bringing in an organic product stack that allows for users to directly, at the moment of inspiration from the content that creators like you make, you're able to really go and make that transition seamlessly to making that purchase without breaking the trail of that journey. And that's very, very, it's something that builds on what's already a very fertile, prevalent habit. And we believe that every indication we have from the early testing we have done, it is quite a significant moment, both for users who are there, creators who are there, and brands who are looking to sell.
Yeah, and Indonesia is the third country that have this feature, right? The first
Correct.
one is in the US.
So absolutely, we got this started in the United States a little less than 2 years back. We got that then lit up in Asia, first in Korea, and for the first time in Southeast Asia, Indonesia is where we are going and getting this started. We will follow very soon into Thailand and Vietnam too in the coming few weeks.
Okay, my last two questions for you. Being a regional director, you basically have the insight about the global trends as well as the regional needs. So about Indonesia, so what do you see the potential that Indonesia have, and what is the competitions or something that we can actually prepare for the future?
So maybe I think I'll take this in two parts. One is the importance of Indonesia and the role it plays in the overall digital ecosystem. Indonesia is our fourth largest market in the world from when it comes to users. It's an amazing story of the pace at which this market has grown. We've seen consumers in this country gravitate to digital experiences in an extraordinary manner. And that's happened because at one end, access to digital platforms has been made easy because of connectivity into every nook and corner of this country. This country is a very diverse, dispersed country, right? So it's a great country dispersed across many, many different surfaces across different islands. Connectivity is a critical part of that, and connectivity was non-existent a decade back. Connectivity is quite pervasive today. So reach is been one of the most important things that has made Indonesia burst into the global landscape. As someone who works in this market, as any Indonesian is in this country, it should be something of absolute pride that this is a country that is able to feature in the top markets when it comes to digital connectivity, reach, and engagement. So that's number one.
Okay.
Number two is that connectivity that has happened has led to an amazing bunch of creators who've come in and burst into the scene. So many creators were not even making even one single video till a few years back.
Yeah.
You know, I talk a lot in various events about many of our creators. You know, I talk about Mata Najwa. Najwa was not even making digital video 7 or 8 years back. Today, she is one of the most important news and information and features creator in the world.
Yes.
She's from this country, and it's an absolute pride and privilege of ours to know the role she plays in shaping the news and information ecosystem. Just No Limits is a creator who didn't have a channel on YouTube till 4 years back.
Yeah.
Just No Limits has 50 million subscribers. It's not something to be taken lightly. The role that creators have played in shaping the creator economy is enormous. It's just extraordinarily significant and something that we feel absolutely privileged to be able to participate with them and drive this extraordinary change that's happening in this country. And so access on one vector, content and creators driving that content is the second vector, has then led to A and B combining itself to create what is the fourth largest market in the world in usage. And we don't take this responsibility lightly.
Yeah.
We need to continuously innovate. We need to continuously give more value to all these stakeholders in the system. And that's really what days like today are all about. It's about not sitting back on what is already built, but to continuously innovate and offer more value to every stakeholder in the system.
I'm happy to hear it from you directly that YouTube love Indonesia because Indonesia love YouTube.
Absolutely. YouTube absolutely loves Indonesia because Indonesia loves YouTube in a manner that we haven't seen in many other parts of the world.
Yeah. So my last question to you, if there is one wisdom that you can share to all the content creators that is watching today, so what is that wisdom or piece of advice that you can give to us?
Well, I think, you know, we are never sitting back. I think, first of all, I want to say thanks to creators all over this country. They are very special. What they do on the platform informs us and educates us on how to really create more value in this market. But what I want to also tell all our creators is that we are never sitting back complacent with what we have got. We believe that we need to continuously innovate across driving viewership and driving monetization. And today, through YouTube Shopping, is an example of what that actually manifests into. Yeah, you know, the ability for you to take all the engagement you have, all the viewership you have, all the usage you have, and then convert that into more opportunity to drive value, drive monetization, and drive revenues for your own channels is really what it is all about. We will continue to do more and more of that. Today is a big moment in being able to help realize that dream, but we'll not sit put at that. We will further innovate on shopping, and we'll bring many more new features that helps all the work that creators do to drive more value for you and for your community of fans.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing, and thank you for launching the YouTube Shopping in Indonesia.
It's absolute privilege. Thank you for having me here. I learned a lot talking to you, and then we'll connect again very, very soon.
Sure. Thank you.
Thanks a ton.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care. Huge thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, John Maxwell here. I'm so excited about Inspira Fest, Day to Grow.
Di hadapan saya hadir pengusaha-pengusaha hebat Indonesia.
That's coming this November in your beautiful country. Trust me, You do not want to miss it.
This is going to be incredible. I look forward to seeing you live in Indonesia for Inspira Fest Day to Grow.
Laksana bumi tanpa hujan, hidup tanpa tujuan, kering dan mati tanpa hijaunya tumbuhan. Demikian kalau mimpi tak kunjung terjadi.